everyone, Duke here with part 39 of this Ottoman Empire campaign, Empire Total War Darthmod. And we are picking up on a rather big step in this campaign where we have sent an army overseas for the first time into another theatre. Well, we have actually been in another theatre with India, but we're going properly overseas now into a separate board altogether, as we've sent an army over to the Americas to try and get ourselves an overseas empire there. And the economy couldn't be doing better right now, and we have won the war against the French Empire, who we are now at peace with. We've managed to knock them out of Italy, and we've also managed to take and hold central Italy, so the entire mainland of Italy and Sicily is now ours. This is a very glorious time now for the Ottoman Republic, the Ottoman Empire, as we have strong holdings in 2 theatres and a lot of money and a lot of new resources getting poured into the empire, but a few more regions, 3 more to be exact, to be gained overseas. So once we land here, we'll see where we can go. We can go to Guyana, both Dutch and French, and then go to Trinidad and Tobago. I think that's likely the most sensible option, because I guess the other option, if this was still pirate, Antigua, I probably would have gone with these 3, but it's horses for courses at this point. I mean, it's we can just go here instead. You know, at least it's a bit more sizable here, and they're very rich from what I can see. Gold, peppers, sugar, gems. I mean, what more do you need in an overseas empire? So that's probably what we had. Oh yeah, just accidentally clicked on this, but we haven't actually ever sent a navy here to go do some trading. But that's fine. Our economy has done very well. We've managed to transform the home economy into a real juggernaut, real powerhouse. We're easily outspending now most of, everyone in the game. We're easily outspending now. So I think there's not too much more to do on this town. Now there's an election coming up, quite a way away though. So we've got an army here in Tangier to keep an eye on any would-be attack or would-be attacker from the Iberian Peninsula. So we're all safe there. So I don't think there's too much more to do now, except in the town, and we'll see what happens. Okay, Britain looks like they must have spawned a gentleman over there in the Indian colony, which now has to do a long walk to probably Scandinavia. A long old walk for him. Right, let's see what they're offering here. They want steam pump land drainage and money in exchange for military rest 5 turns. That's an easy no. You know, now that we've made peace with both France and Spain, we have stopped the blockades all across our main trade routes, and that's just unlocked even more of our economy. We're just making obscene levels of money now. I really do like how our empire's developed. I think it looks quite nice. I think it looks like the Ottoman Empire as it started, but greater. It looks expanded. We've taken control of all the ports over in the west, and we've stretched down into India and managed to reclaim all the lands lost to Spain that were previously Berber and our protectorate, and spread our reach all the way to the western coast of Tangier, which has given us the perfect springboard to get into the Americas by is it bypassing? Yeah, bypassing and circumnavigating the... No, it's bypassing really. The blockade that could have existed in Gibraltar. Were we still at war with the European powers? So, you know, if you imagine that... Oh, okay, so Württemberg's declared war on us. We've got Russia and Prussia on our side. I don't think they're going to help, so I'm not going to ask them to join. Spain, France and Bavaria aren't willing to help. Alright, I think we can negotiate a peace. We have the money. Trade agreement cancelled. I think they'll probably regret this if they commit to it, so I think we can make them see sense. I might actually get rid of this observatory and put an opera house. Let's turn this into a madrasa. Oh, that's prosperous. Ooh, do we want to do that? Nah, we'll just... Yeah, the only thing is we're not actually converting. That's the only problem. But it seems a shame to make a prosperous town. That's very wealthy. A madrasa. Oh, there's a seminary here we can knock down and do that instead, perhaps. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Great. Yeah, let's keep replenishing here. Looks like I didn't do that last time. Silly old me. Okay. This army, yep, that's fully healed. We can put them in Provence vineyards over there to keep an eye on the pass from France. And this army, well, you can go flex your muscles in Württemberg's direction. You can head that way. Our manpower reserves are insane. Württemberg are fools to try and make war with us. Let's see if we can get them to negotiate peace, see sense, and get trading with us again. It's in everyone's interest. There we go. So maybe they just want to negotiate better terms for their trade deals. Well, they got it. I don't care. Right, here we go. Dmitry Nedim has arrived. So let's. Okay, we've arrived in the middle one because as I believe we went into the middle one here. So I might have mentioned before in earlier episodes which theatre you go into and which exits you take and all that. It does directly correlate to where you turn up. So we went into this middle one here, which is a bit silly. I probably should have gone here if I was being particular. But Darthmod gives you greater naval range, so I think we're going to make it anyway. But it would have been smarter to turn up here because that's where we were heading. So just a heads up to anyone who's watching and taking notes. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay, before we move with it, let's just check our economy, which is just doing better and better every year. Let's get a new drive. Oh no! Should we get? Can we get? Yeah, let's. I can't remember what the difference is between these two. These ones give you more research points. This one, I'm sure it just gives you a steam dry dock. I don't think a steam ship, but I don't think we can unlock that. But why not? Variety's the spice of life. Let's just go with that. Let's get a steam one in. Let's get that port built up nicely. That's being built up. Fantastic. Let's see. Up you go. And I don't think it's... Yeah, because we have built up an awful lot of our economy now. I don't think there's really much left to do in terms of building, which is fine. It's very good. It's not a problem to have at all. It's a good thing in general. It just feels weird. Like it always felt like we've had tons and tons and tons more building to do, and now we don't. So, I'm just going to save the game. Episode 59. Should anything happen? Right. The best thing to do is to land in a port and disembark from there, because then it means your army can march on afterwards. This navy is plenty big enough to keep itself safe from pirates. Oops. There we go. Right. Let's jump off and go besiege the Arawakan roads. Let's see if we can get a surrender going. Good. They saw sense. Good stuff. Good roads here. That's fantastic. Let's fix the port up because we damaged it when we sailed in. Average yield gold mine 2,400 once that's built. Fantastic. And it's going to give us some more spices. Excellent. It's mostly Catholic and the rest animism. No Islam. Wish to speak of. This is where it's quite tricky as the Ottomans. If we did focus, say, in this theatre, if you went here and you get more buildings in your regions, then yes, you could start getting madrasas and maybe start convert the population. But here, there's nowhere to do that. You can't convert these plantations or this mine into a religious building, so it would be really difficult to convert the population early in the game when religious unrest is worse. Because we've researched technology that reduces the effects of it, so it's not too bad now. But there would have been a time when that was a pain. So we've got one of our first, big moment, guys. We've got our first overseas empire in the Americas. We can't quite see it on the map here. Maybe we zoom in. Oh, maybe that was the wrong button. Right. No, you can't see it on this map. Maybe we'll have to go onto the... well, there we are. French Guyana. Well, it's Ottoman Guyana now. Ottoman Guyana is now ours. And that's nice. So we must therefore have and America's minister. So industrial revolutionary, yeah, that's good. So what does it do? +1 to repression in the area, -1 upkeep, -1% upkeep, and +1% bonus to tax income. Not great, not terrible, but rather a slightly better one than a slightly naff one. This is a low yield spice warehouse, so it gives us £50. I suppose the higher the yield, the more bales of it they make. Let's check out our trade page. Yeah, spices. Look at this. Spices are currently the most valuable commodity, and we are about to start selling from Guyana, which is fantastic. So it's going to make us a lot of money. So 44. If we're going to sell all of it, that's going to be 44 times 50. That makes 2,200. So that's going to be a lovely little bit of profit coming from Guyana, which we'll then be able to tax. Right. There's not much more to do this turn either. To be honest, I think we can just keep moving because we're at peace with most of the world now, I believe. Yeah, we're allied with our old enemies, Russia, and Prussia are also our allies. We could try making an alliance with oh no, we can't yet because they are at war with Russia. Yes. That's fine. So Russia and Britain have divvied up the Swedish Empire between them, and now they're at war with each other. And Poland have got an overseas empire in one of the pirate colonies, pirate islands, which is very unusual, but nonetheless rather cool. Well, I don't think there's too much more to do this turn, so let's just in the turn. So what I'm going to do next turn, once this is finished repairing, I'm going to jump into this ship, and then we're going to go over next door and do the same thing there. We're not going to march because that's going to be rough terrain, whereas if we go into this ship and into the port, we can walk over across the roads, and it just makes more sense. That's the most sensible thing to do. So we have roads, so let's use them. Looks like the previous owners of this place, France and the Dutch, both managed to update the infrastructure quite nicely. So we're reaping the benefits of their work, which is, you know, I'm not complaining. United provinces are still not settling down, still rebelling. Yeah, they're never going to come back. France has too much of a hold on the Low Countries now, but the rebellion seems to really be hurting them. It keeps them tied down because they'll have to keep an entire army there to at least have a chance of keeping it secure. Eventually, the more rebellions they put down, eventually the more rebellions they put down, then the more repression bonuses they get, and over time, the rebellions will stop. But it keeps them tied down in the meantime. So it was quite a handy thing when we were at war with them, and they had armies up there trying to deal with the rebellion, and we took out a bunch of armies in Italy, and they must have panicked and thought, we have nothing to keep Paris safe, because they were at war with Bavaria, which has managed to take a lot of their European areas as well. I think they've taken Brussels as well, which is incredible, and they're so well timed on our part, for our part. So they just urgently signed a peace deal. A big disaster for them. You know, they had a nice secure border with us that we were quite happy to keep. I had no real, you know, it would have been, had plans should a war come, which it did, to, you know, take Italian regions and use them towards our victory objectives goal. But, and we would have got more overseas, but hey ho, things worked out nicely. Now we've got a nice continuous empire. So it's not too bad. Right, technological advantages. We've got shrapnel now, so upkeep of artillery is a bit more expensive. Preserved foods. We've got some morale in battles. Oh no, that's next. Classical economics. So some clamour for reform, but some excellent economic bonuses there. And attempt to understand, explore, and explain economic growth and development. So that will net off easily against the upkeep costs for artillery you know, as a profit. Town watch minus 250. That's pittance, that's nothing. Just look at this tax income we're making. The trade income, that's just... Trade income seems to make about 20% of our income. Protectorates... I don't know what this is, what this could be. We don't have protectorates anymore. Yeah. Oh well. Right. Ding ding. All aboard. Meanwhile, let's get... Actually, we don't need anything in this. It's perfectly... Oh, well, we do need something, I suppose, to garrison Sinemari. I love that we can actually get these Turkish mob units in Guyana. That's quite funny. Right. All aboard the American Express. Let's go. Okay, it looks like it's probably going to be the same deal. We might be lucky and get another surrender negotiated. Let's move in. Perfect. They surrendered. Fantastic stuff. So, it's given us a low yield lumber mill, an abundant yield warehouse, and steam powered sugar mill to be 120 loads of sugar. 120, my goodness, I mean, just that's 2,400 plus 2,880, I think. Look at it, yeah, there's, oh my god, that spice we're selling. 50 pounds of spices at 40 pounds. That's just ridiculous. Look at all this trading we're trading with here. Persia can't be traded with. Yeah, they're being blockaded, but look at all this trade we're doing. Look at this, look at this. Just look at this. So other goods is what, that's something which builds up, and these are long-term trading partners. So the longer you trade with someone, the more benefit you get more value trade. So with Bavaria, one of our longest trading partners, we have 1,822 extra money a turn. That's great. And we're selling, Russia seems to have the biggest appetite for our spices right now. 600 crates of it, I guess, £15. And our sugar and our cotton. In fact, yeah, they're by far the most hungry of our trade partners. Portugal, not that hungry, but they are only in Gibraltar now. France, fairly hungry. Yeah, look at us. This is why they make peace straight away. At least Württemberg, because to go to war, that means to deprive themselves of the luxuries of the world. So they have to keep trading. They have to keep the peace. Europe gets. This is yeah. So we make tons of cotton in Europe and some furs. I think mostly in areas like Georgia and Dagestan. And India is all about the sugar, the cotton, and the tea at the moment. And America is those spices. So, yep, the European powers no longer have the monopoly on spice. We've made first moves into it. An abundant yield gold mine, 3,200 region wealth, obscene. That's ridiculous. So now we're going to repair this port, and then we're going to sail over to Trinidad and Tobago and hopefully get our last region there. And that will be it. We will have our overseas empire here. We will have the 45 regions we need for world domination, which is the hardest one to do. So I'm really pleased, really pleased. I am so happy with how this campaign turned out. It was such a struggle at the beginning, but in a fun way, of course. I wasn't, you know, it was fun, but it was hard. And now we've been rewarded with an intensely fun campaign and a really cool empire, I think. A really cool empire. So let's... And it's so rewarding as well to modernise such an ailing and weak and outdated empire and turn it into this major power that we have. It's so rewarding. Oh, look at this trade route, 2,000 from one region. That is just bonkers. So it looks like the French are blockading Rostock, so they can't get any goods in at the moment. Yeah, well, let's just end the turn. Not too much to do. Yeah, we'll put the army there to keep an eye on Stuttgart. See what they get up to there. Okay, they want socket bayonet and fire in advance in exchange for military access. No. We have no use for military access whatsoever. We can sail where we need to now, because we have Morocco. An ally has been attacked. So enter the war on the side of our ally, or we decline. Break the alliance. I'm of a mind to decline because they've never helped us. So look at this. This really is almost a world war at this point. Well, continuing France and Russia, both are going to join Spain most likely. That is quite a roster of aggressors and defenders, though. I'm going to decline that. We have no need for war. course, I don't entirely trust places like Russia to stay allied with us either. I'm sure if the campaign went on longer and longer, they would inevitably declare war on us, try and take back the lands we took from them, and try and get access to the Black Sea, and the Mughals would probably try and reclaim the lands that we took from them. But hopefully we should be able to get our final region in the next turn. Bavaria doing extremely well. I find the German states usually get quite powerful in this game, and in Napoleon. In Napoleon I never used to see them like take over places or anything, but they could get really strong armies. They can get surprisingly wealthy. Okay, yeah, we're no longer allied. I mean, it's just tale as old as time now in this campaign. It happens all the time. They just never really stick to their word. Let's build that madrasa that we meant to build. Let's get a trade in prosperous Ravenna. Get Florence upgraded a bit, and let's start that opera house, or no, that's a rose garden, tulip garden, isn't it? If you have the Ottomans. And yeah, look at all these vineyards. Yeah, we've got Ravenna upgrading, fantastic. Florence and Central Italy is going good. Trincomalee is upgrading. Let's get a tulip garden here. This army is, of course, quite wasted, but it's also a bit of a round in the chamber, so to speak. Should they go to war with us against the Mughals, we can fire it, poof, and go anywhere along here and attack them from both fronts. So it's strategically placed. Seems a bit of an overkill for one area, but I think it's good to keep it there. Unit recruited, yep, perfect. Put them in there. Keep the port safe. Now that we've got this fixed up. 1320. Yep, sugar is less lucrative at the moment. Spice is getting more and more valuable. Sugar going down a bit. That's all fine. That's all fine. So there's no wonder that this one makes a little bit less money, because yeah, the value of his exports is slightly less. Well, considerably less actually. About half. So let's see if we can get into Trinidad. Yes, we can. Excellent. New nation arises in Sweden. It was like they rebelled against their British overlords. Can't keep the Swedes down. Yeah, they're back, baby. So yeah, just look at the mess that Scandinavia is. The Brits own Norway, the Russians own Finland. Sweden's back, but rebellious. And look at all this damage across these buildings here. It's just completely damaged. And the Mughals own Denmark. It's a circus. Okay, now let's jump off here and take this place. This is another sugar island here, the Siparia plantations. And so let's liberate them from liberate these pirates from their ill-gotten gains. Let's try smash. They want to do this the hard way. Looks like we're ending with a battle, everyone. So a few mortars and pirate mobs. And buccaneers. Henry, I thought I said something else, I'm not going to say what. So Henry Condon against Etrugul Huzrev. Time to end this war. Nice little black flags on either side there for the pirates. Let's go. We could wait them out and give them 2 turns. We have time on our side, but we might as well get in now. And yeah, these weaker areas down in the south, which aren't owned by anyone, are just right for the picking with us. Because after this we could take another pirate island, and then I suppose if we were playing the long game, we could have gone to war again with the Spanish and French and just, you know, sided with the Prussians, and then use that as an excuse to go and rob them of their overseas colonies if we were going on, but we didn't need to do that. Look at this. You have shrapnel shot. So what does it do? Explodes in the air, raining hot metal on the enemy below. I think we'll turn that on. Let's try it. I've never really played, you know, never usually played far enough to get this kind of technology, so let's try it out. And with our 24 pounders, yeah, that's going to be quite the amount of shrapnel firing over their heads. Right, Form up, gentlemen. Set one to the down. You guys got there. And form group. There you go. You guys. Oop. There we go. Let's put the Sipahis up. Yeah. And then the general. You can stand in the woodland. Keep yourself safe. Right. Fire that shrapnel, guys. That's obscene. That's devastating. Right, they're returning fire with their mortars. There's no way they're going to have the technology. Pirates don't get technology, so they're not going to have any cool shots. Okay. They've hit our men and our horses, but the cannons are fine for now. I'm fine to keep firing on them. Okay, so shrapnel shot doesn't seem to have as great a range as round shot. Understandable. I guess it's kind of like long range. Okay, we've taken out most of the cannons on this unit. That's good firing. Right. I'll send in some cavalry to go around the back and take out the mortars. It's not we don't have to get too pushed about losses in this battle because this is it. A good rate of fire though, I must say. Better than ours when we've had them. Okay, it looks like those guys are running away. That's fine, where we can continue playing, we just replenish them. As long as they live to fight another day, it's not a big deal. It's just, we don't want to lose them completely because we can't recruit more in these regions that we've taken. We could just send more over from Europe, it's not that big a deal. God, the rate of fire they're doing is quite something. Okay, it looks like both cannons are off. That's cool. Okay. And I might actually let the Sipahis do the work if we can. Who'd have thought in this time like that, Ottoman Sipahi cavalry would square off against pirate buccaneers in Trinidad and Tobago. A bit of damage to this unit. Yeah, mortars can... I find them, pardon the pun, but they're a little bit hit and miss. They either do a lot of damage or they're wildly accurate. This is it. Today they're very accurate. Yeah, let's see if we can get the cavalry to do the work. How was that for an action shot? I knew I could counter my cavalry. Look at that. That's the battle. There we go. So, yep, cavalry managed to do it. We could have just done that straight away if we wanted, but we gave him the old coast. Well, we gave him a taste of shrapnel before doing it. Okay, so that's the last battle, guys. Let's end the battle. And heroic victory, I suppose, in terms of closing this campaign. One could say it is rather heroic, momentous. Right. 278 men lost there, 1,572. So that's perfectly acceptable, I think. Right. Close. There it is, Campaign 1, Ottoman Empire. You have successfully completed your campaign goals. Maintain these conquests until the allotted time and victory will be yours. Well, I'd say victory is ours already. I don't think we need to keep playing until 1799, the end of the century. I think we've done well. I think that's a good place to leave it, because otherwise, I mean, we're only at 1754. It is. I mean, this campaign will go on until episode. Low yield. How's that? I mean, this episode, you know, this series will go on until episode probably 70 or plus. So we don't need to do that. But look at that. We have our overseas empire. That's fantastic. In fact, if I was playing on, I'd probably take this into a trade port to start, because otherwise this sugar isn't going anywhere. So it has to be a trade port. Even though it's low yield, you know, it's still good to sell it, because we can get ships quite quick from Europe if we need them. So that's fine. I mean, this part of the world was shallow waters. We didn't, I mean the Brits, we didn't generally build or really use heavy navies here. It was too shallow. We used smaller ships like brigs and sloops and frigates, so we wouldn't need a big old dry dock to build first classes here. So that's it. So let's have a unit recruited. Yep, we did that, didn't we? French Guyana, a new nation. Yep, we did that. And the region captured in Trinidad and Tobago. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Ottoman Empire has been led into glorious victory under our leadership. We were ailing and even losing ground at the beginning of this campaign. I remember in here we lost ground in Jassy, and I think here, I believe as well, I think we lost Bosnia at one point, I think it was. And we were at risk of losing Mesopotamia, and the Persians, you know, they were moving in to take our land, and the Russians were swooping in. Georgia threatened war on us at one point. We managed to make peace with them. And then just through sheer stubbornness, we managed to turn it all around. And we managed to hold all our original holdings. We expanded across the Black Sea, marched all the way up to the gates of Vienna and took out Italy. We had a really bloody war against France, a war of attrition almost in North Italy, which worked out with victory for us. And then we swept across North Africa as well, and that gave us a springboard into the Americas, where we now have 3 overseas colonies, and would surely be more. I'd probably take Curacao, and then likely rejoin the war against Spain. And I think I would take all of South America and Central America, I think, turn this Ottoman. And then in India, glorious India, we had another bloody war against the Mughal Empire and her vast manpower reserves in India, over in northwest India. But we managed to become victorious, and we managed to take Hindustan, an extremely wealthy city, which we have transformed even further into just such a power base here in India, a seat of our power here in Ottoman Raj. And we also took Sri Lanka as well, a really strategically placed island that gives us access to the East Indies if we wanted it. I suppose I could have done that more. I could have recruited, I think people said we could have got a navy here. Well, we could have used this navy and gone to the East Indies to trade. I always kept forgetting to do that. I have a mind like a sieve when I play these games. You know, what I want to do and what I remember to do are 2 separate things completely. And look at that, we've got, it's such a cool thing thematically, you know, with these metal roads and stuff. Like, you could hop on a cart over in eastern Hindustan over here and then ride all the way, not even that way, you go through there and then up to, you could all go all the way to Naples if you wanted, or you could go all the way to the western coast of Africa without ever leaving our soil, which is fantastic. And then once you get there, you can sail to our Ottoman provinces in the New World and see what at least South America has to offer. So we would have to start converting here as well, I'm sure, but that would be quite tricky. But it wouldn't be too difficult as well, because the populations are tiny, so the conversion rates would be extremely high were we to get someone in there. And I'm so glad that we managed to get an empire, you know, in all 3 theatres. I didn't want to be strictly European centric, which is kind of if you go the long campaign route, as in, you know, the long campaign, not world domination, but actual long campaign, they have you just stay here, really. They have you stay in Europe. I think you're focused on expanding more west and north, so you have to move to Poland, to like Warsaw, and you need to take Spain. I think you might need to take Moscow, I'm not too sure. And maybe Rome, but I don't think so. And I think you need to take Morocco, so you need to go west, so we've done that. But you're sort of here on the map, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be a Mediterranean power, that's absolutely fine. But I wanted to have an overseas one, because there's Empire Total War, and you don't get to do this in other games. So I wanted to expand and get a presence overseas, which we have done now. We're in all three theatres. Obviously, we've got a major presence in Europe. That's absolutely fine. And yeah, we managed to liberalise and modernise the economy. We turned it from a backward, absolute monarchy into a flourishing republic with elections and enlightenment and consent to, what's the word? What's the technology? What's the technology I'm thinking of? Government by consent. There you are. So, and free trade, and we've got free trade and wealth of nations and secular humanism, classical economics. We've abolished slavery in the empire. We've just modernised this economy and the nation so well. We're just a beacon of enlightenment, and we haven't, well played as a brutal conqueror. We've, for the most part, been defensive and just taken land where we can and spread the Republican views across Europe, and got an empire while at it, and got an obscenely wealthy. What's our final paycheck? 158,003 pounds, for want of a word. Population of 170,528,800. That's obscene. Yeah. The royal family lived in exile somewhere on this map. Mahmud, the old monarch died, and they just live somewhere in exile. And trade, look at all the trade we're making. We're a real trade power. And was there something else? Oh yes, what was our most rich region at the very end? Persia. Yes, I am somewhat surprised. I never saw Persia as an obscenely wealthy region when I played as a kid. But my goodness, look at the money it's made. 18,150, which taxed at 44%, because it was just shy of £8,000 a term, which is a few armies in itself. Persia now funds a few armies on its own. Azerbaijan is almost as wealthy. Again, never thought of this as particularly wealthy, but with some wealthy industrial towns, there's plenty to tax. And then Egypt, which was barely making, I think it was only making a couple of hundred in post-tax income, is now our third richest. And then Hindustan, another our bastion of power in India, obscenely wealthy. We really never took off as an obscenely wealthy region. It's probably one of the poorer starting capitals in the game. Austria, actually, yeah, see, Austria is more wealthy, and Mesopotamia, which is the Persian capital, Hindustan, which is the Mughal capital. No, not Mesopotamia. Persia is the Persian capital. But yes, well, I could keep waffling on and on, but that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I have thoroughly enjoyed this campaign. It has been my pleasure to do it, because I've had so much fun holding desperately to our starting regions, and then turning the war around and securing our fronts along here, and then somehow managed to getting an overseas empire all across the globe. It's just so rewarding, and getting used to the roster and the heavy cavalry and the heavy artillery that you get without the trade of not so good infantry, and fighting with swords. We were fighting with swords at the beginning of this campaign, for goodness sake. With those bashy bazooks, we had swords and shields and bowmen against disciplined musket fire. So how we managed to get through that, I don't know, but we did. And just look at our empire now. So I'm really pleased. I'm almost quite sad it's come to an end. I'm not going to carry on to get to 1799, because then it also becomes painting the world red by that point, and I think it would lose its fun by that point. I've liked having something of a cool looking empire to build toward, which will start to go, and then it's nice to have world crowded with a few major powers on it still, to make it feel a bit lived in. Once we take out places like Spain and Paris, which wouldn't be too difficult now, then it just won't feel like there will be no competition. It won't be hard to win by that point because no one's there to stand up to us anymore. So I think we've left it at just the right time. We have the world domination as per the conditions of victory. I think that's enough. I think that's a good place to stop. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that campaign as much as I did. Join me for the next one, whatever that's going to be. I'm probably going to do more Empire at some point, almost certainly Darthmod. I want to see more about Empire 2, that mod, before considering using that, but I'm quite comfortable with Darthmod for now. Overall I'm impressed with it. I think I'm pretty pleased, this being my first campaign with it. I like most of the changes it brings. I think it's better on... I think it builds on vanilla just nicely, if only because of the ship portraits as well. So we'll stick with that and probably do another campaign. As who? I don't really know. I haven't got my mind up about anything yet. I sort of just decide on the day what campaign I'm going to start doing. But yes, I think more Empire will be coming. Absolutely. I've really enjoyed this campaign. It's given me a taste for more. So there you have it. Ottoman Empire, world domination, hard difficulty, Empire Total War Darthmod complete. I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.